What is up, Wizards fans? Welcome into the first. This is the opener for the Believe in Wizards podcast for the Wizards 2025-2026 season. We got you all prepped and ready to go. They've actually played a game now. We've got some stuff to talk about. But first, we're going to save the Wizards game. Jahadi, we got to get into this FBI NBA gambling scandal. Just a crazy morning in the NBA. Terry Rozier arrested. Damon Jones arrested. Chauncey Billups, of all people, arrested. Just what were you thinking when you saw this news drop?
I wasn't sure what to think at first when I saw it. And I think because I thought, okay, maybe it had something to do with how NBA is kind of opening up gambling, and now it's a major part of NBA sports betting. So I didn't know. I kind of thought, okay, it was like maybe they were betting on sports. Not themselves, but just other NBA teams, because
makes sense.
You can bet on the baseball team probably. I don't know football, but you can't bet on the NBA. I don't think as an NBA player.
No,
so I thought it was something as simple as that at first.
Yeah.
Then because the first only person I saw was Terry Rozier. So then I saw that Chauncey Billups was involved in it, and that's when things threw me for a curve.
Yep.
Right. So I'm saying, okay, Chauncey Billups, I'm thinking, okay, maybe it's a situation where they're just playing poker games. We all played poker games. I mean, you grow up in the NBA, you see guys playing big wish. You gamble on the plane every day, right? A lot of guys do. So I thought it was something as simple as that, and somehow maybe a little basketball games got involved in it. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But when I saw Cash Patel on there, I knew it was something real because he don't show up for shit, right?
Exactly.
Like nothing like this. Like he won't. This is not something he will show up for, right?
It's the photo op. Yep.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay. So all right, this is something major. And you heard about it, and you're like, wow. So now you heard about the low Costa Nostra involved, and the FBI, the mafia families involved. And I'll say, and so it does bring you back to one thing for sure is this: every NBA player has been in a situation where they saw like the vets gambling, and you saw some shady characters, gambling with them that looked,
some big money guys,
they look very connected. You know what I'm saying? And I think we've all seen that. So that I don't think that's something new either.
Yeah.
But you can't tell me, I can't tell you where those guys are, who they were or who they connected to. You just you knew there was some, shady characters, and that had a lot of money. So, so I don't think this is anything new.
Right. No, that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't think this is anything new more than it is the gambling now has, instead of it used to be in the background, now it's far in the forefront. A lot of a large percentage of the people in the stands are there because of they have money on the game.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So it's just a new fan now. But the most amazing thing was just to see Chauncey allegedly involved in it. And what they say and the role he played in it, as far as like the guy to make you comfortable, the role he played in it, it just doesn't seem like him. And then
Chauncey, right? Like you guys overlapped, right? Like Chauncey personally, right?
Yeah, I know Chauncey, and this is nothing. This is so out of character for just the type of guy he is, And it's a stand-up guy and a model guy and a guy who played in the NBA, won championships, for Detroit, and now a head coach, and a head coach that has a team going on a good trajectory. For this to kind of fall on, it's not a good look for him, but it's really not a good look for the NBA.
Yeah, I think that piece is huge. Like, by all accounts, like this is a model citizen. This is a guy that the league would promote as like the face of high character, high integrity guys in the league. Like if I don't mean any disrespect to him specifically, but like Jonte Porter, if you're the league, you're like, all right, it's a fringe guy. He was on some two ways. Like he was trying to make some money on the side. Like that's bad, but as the league, you can just kind of write that off as like, that's going to happen on the fringes every once in a while. When an NBA
Right.
head coach is like involved in this, it just like that's got to be just a black mark for them as a league. Like Adam Silver was probably shitting himself this morning because they apparently didn't know. Like the FBI didn't tell them, "Hey, we're about to arrest a bunch of guys in your league for this." They just went and did it. I mean, that's not a great look. That's got not a lot of good phone calls coming in from investors and sponsors and all those other people too.
Yeah, just imagine being as we were this morning about this.
Yeah.
Not the guy, not only the guys that they didn't know they was coming down the pike like, oh, this might happen.
Sure.
Right. But the league, just imagine being the league and this is just get smacked on right after the first day of the NBA season started.
Yep.
So that's right there is the part that kind of, is questionable.
Yeah.
And
this didn't just break. They held it on for this on purpose.
Yeah, man. Like there's some questionable stuff here, and that's the part that I'm like, okay, they made sure that it hit right now. That's how I feel.
When I heard Damon Jones, I immediately said to a friend at work, like, oh, he was betting on something about LeBron. There's just no way. Like, it had something to do with that. And then immediately it was he had insider info that LeBron wasn't going to play in a game or was hurt for a game. And, I don't know. Like, so-and-so is going to show up on the injury report. I mean, it sure changes your odds, but, like, it's not, like, the most egregious thing in the world to me. But, like, Terry Rozier on the court, and they've got, like, Shaqtin' a Fool videos of him, montages that go, like, 8 minutes long. Like, that has a real direct impact on the outcome of the game. Like, that to me is another level. And then what you could do as a coach, if you're involved, has a whole nother level, too. That's where, if you're the NBA, you got to be in, like, absolute panic mode, where, like, Terry Rozier is a probably fringe $100 million player in the league. Like, that's not a scrub. That's where it's like, okay, now anytime somebody has a really bad character performance or an off night or they got the flu or whatever, it's just going to be point shaving jokes for forever, I think, at this point.
Well, to me, those guys are making enough money that they're not doing it for the money. So
yeah, it's the thrill.
I think there needs to be another investigation on this part. You may have, how many guys just happen to walk into a poker game playing, normal like you play on the plane,
Sure.
Boo-ray or whatever, Bidwish, whatever they play, 21, blackjack, and they ended up being in the act game, and maybe they did get sucked in once.
Yeah.
But once you get sucked in once, it's now they have leverage on you. And now you're stuck.
Right. Yeah, you don't want to owe those people a certain amount of money that you're overextended on.
Or they just told you, hey, you just did this with this game, right? And you got this guy came in, we won. We might have rigged the game. Now afterwards that we rigged the game and you just took that money.
Yeah.
So if you don't show up, now we got you on the hook. Right? If you don't show up here and show up for another game, make sure another one comes on, the NBA gonna know. And just imagine, how those guys. It may be a position where they may have got extorted.
Yeah, blackmailed or any of those kinds of things.
So
yeah.
I think that's the main thing. That's another angle that people are not looking at. Like some of these guys may have gotten, blackmail because you're not going to risk all the money you're getting from the NBA for this little money from a game. Like they said, what it was it's like the most that somebody made was 1.5 or whatever. That's the money that when you read all the money that the equivalent of the money, it's not worth any of their contracts.
No, I agree.
So, I think what happens is you get on the hook with the mafia.
Yeah, that's you heard all those rumors about Jordan and his dad and all that stuff and going to Atlantic City and just the end of the day, you don't want to owe the wrong people money and then get
Yeah.
desperate for how to have to pay it back. And
Right.
yeah,
So I just hope that they investigate that part of it too.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, be thorough, Cash Patel. I thought it was funny that they put their ace guy on it, who immediately came in to talk about the investigation they were going to do, and he started talking about the Toronto Rangers being involved, and I'm like,
Yeah.
like, come on, man. Like, I mean, I guess
Hey,
it's a slip of the tongue, but didn't inspire the most confidence. So
I'm
we'll see.
not sure that that's a slip of the tongue. I'm not sure he ever
Yeah,
watched basketball.
that,
You know what? That
I didn't get that.
that's
I
each
didn't
his
get that
own.
vibe. Yeah,
Right, but
they
and
might have
and
intentionally
if
picked.
that's the case, that means you wasn't a part of the investigation anyway.
Yeah. Or they picked the guy who knew nothing about basketball, so he'd be unbiased. Maybe that's the optimistic side of it, but I doubt it.
Yeah.
They said 30 plus arrests across 11 states. So that's pretty big. Multi-million-dollar gambling ring. Yeah, I mean, just it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. Jahadi, I am not asking you if any of your teammates ever point shaved. I'm asking you if you ever had a teammate play so badly that people joked about, is this guy throwing the game? He's so bad.
Not consistently in the game,
Okay.
right? Not consistently in the game, and if he did, it wasn't point shaving points look weird.
Mm-hmm.
You
Like
gotta
some of
look
those
to
Terry
them.
Rozier clips.
Yeah, they got some they're real clownish,
Yeah.
and they almost look like lack of effort.
Mm.
It's clownish with lack of effort.
Yep.
Some things look bad, but the effort level is too
Right.
high to make it on purpose.
Yeah. Just to your point, JaVale McGee is the guy that immediately comes to mind for that. He
Right.
was going
That's
100 miles an hour, just falling down all over the place. Like, just, yeah, he was just uncoordinated, I think, early on. So,
yeah. That's the difference.
the guy that came to mind to me immediately when I was joking about it with some guys today was just that second year of Davis Bertans in Washington, where he went from flamethrower the year before to couldn't throw a brick in the ocean. And anytime he was like wide open and they needed a big shot, he missed it. I mean, we spent that whole year joking about, is this dude point shaving after they gave him a big deal? And I know he's not, but now the NBA, those jokes will triple down for forever. Scott Brooks, were you point shaving as a coach? I'm just saying, how do you not win one title with KD, Russ, and James Harden? Just throwing that out there. You got to wonder. I mean, just that's a bad look, Jahadi. How do you like? That's an all-time team.
Well,
It might
what
explain some
happens?
things.
This situation makes you question a lot of
Yeah,
situations that happened in the past with the NBA.
I know those guys really aren't, but I mean, like, I'm not afraid to throw the question out there about Mr. Scott Brooks. That's all I'm saying.
I don't. I wouldn't say they aren't. They were. But
Yeah,
who knows?
you never know.
This right
Anything's
here.
on the table.
You surprised that this just happened. So who
Exactly.
knows?
Yeah, exactly. Anything's on the table now for the league.
Anything's on the table now, and I think that's the point to put that bad flag, on the organization.
Mm-hmm.
It's the timing was just too unique. Like
Yep.
it's the timing is too ironic.
Not to get
They
overly,
you just don't wrap up this investigation exactly at this time.
yeah, not to get like overly political here for our listeners, but this is an administration where they're not afraid to go at some dudes that have said some things at them, and
Yeah.
the NBA has been very outspoken against
Mhm.
this administration, especially the first time around, and some of the ways certain things were handled. So, wouldn't shock me if this was a targeted, like, oh, don't think we forgot about you, NBA. We're gonna blow your shit up and take all the all the thunder out of the first week of your season here. Like that's
Yeah, maybe.
could be intentional. And I don't know if I'm ever gonna see them open another investigation. I'm looking at you, Jan Mahinmi. I'm just saying, like, there were some suspicious drops while he was in a Wizards uniform. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, the thing is this. You saw how this story ended with Jonte Porter.
Yeah.
I just can't. First of all, I can't imagine, but
Yeah.
they can't risk it.
Sure.
that I would hate that the story ends the same way for Chauncey Billups, Terry Rozier.
Yeah. Yeah, just like, I mean, those are prominent guys in the league. Yeah, like Chauncey is a champion, like you said. That's just
Especially after all this time. Being
right.
in the league this long, after your career, coaching, you'll be a guy that really would have stuck around the league till you wanted to leave it.
Yeah.
And that's a legacy. That's a legacy most would love to have.
Mm-hmm.
And for this, to end up going out like this that's not a good way to go out.
That's why we get due process. Hopefully, gets a good lawyer, can exonerate himself. Maybe it's some minimal involvement thing and just got wrapped up in it. And he's a big name, could be the biggest name involved. So that's why they went at him. We see that kind of stuff every once in a while here too. So we'll see how it plays out. Going to be interesting to follow. But it definitely made for an interesting metro ride in for me this morning here. I was just like refreshing Twitter on every new metro stop when I got signal back. But let's talk last night. Fun game where nobody could be accused of point shaving because I think collectively both teams were playing really hard and just fun basketball for the most part. I got into the game a little late, so I was trying to like fast forward through commercials and catch back up. But the Wizards ultimately lose to the Milwaukee Bucks, and that's fine. The Milwaukee Bucks, I think, are going to be better than maybe even some teams are projecting this year. I think Giannis looks motivated. Like he was a demon out there last night. So Milwaukee wins 133 to 120. The Wizards started slow. They looked like, I don't know if it was nerves first game of the season with a bunch of young guys, or they just sort of needed to find their sea legs or whatever the case was. But you see that a lot of times with young teams too, where they get punched in the mouth and kind of roll over quick. These guys, they did not go quietly into that good night. They dug in. And, I credit to some, like we don't give Brian Keefe that much credit as a fan base. Like he had them, into it and fighting for it. So I liked that. Maybe, Jai, let's just start first impressions. How did Trey Johnson look to you last night?
I was very impressed by Trey Johnson. Sometimes he looked out of control, but even in his out of control situations, he would fight back even harder on defense. And sometimes he would force a turnover just when he made a turnover on the other end. And to me, you don't get players like that a lot. To me, those players if I make a turnover here, I'm guaranteed making them turn the ball back over there. I'm going to equalize this. And the last time I saw a player like that, it was probably Chris Paul.
Okay.
Chris Paul did that a lot. So he doesn't make, so that really meant something to him. I really like the shots he took. Some difficult, some open, but you saw how he's a natural scorer when he wants to.
Yeah.
I don't like how everything is one-on-one.
Yeah, that it didn't seem to run much for him unless he was kind of blowing it up.
One pass, go. So I think even that, he did that some too. So that's the part that as a team we're going to really have to focus on, because we're not going to be able to win that way. We have good players. We don't have the caliber of players that can do one dribble and everybody goes one-on-one. We just don't have those Ja Morant or anybody like that. So we're going to have the team scheme offensively.
Yeah, they got to get creative, right? Like you don't have a ton of shooters, so even if you did have one kind of break me down guard or wing, you need other options to space the floor for them. And with the lack of that, you need a bunch of guys where you're, all can pass, dribble, shoot. Anybody's a threat to score. Anybody's a threat to pass. And I think they have the foundation of that. I think these guys can do that, but they're not right now. They're not gelled enough yet. Maybe it'll take them a few more weeks kind of thing. But yeah, overall, I thought Trey was good. 16 points, 5 rebounds, 5 of 11 overall, 4 of 8 from 3. The volume, he's not afraid to put it up, which is cool. No. And he had a block and a steal, which is, him contributing in other ways too. So I think that was great.
Yeah. To me, it looked like fair, especially first half, is everybody's expecting the other person to go one-on-one so much. Now there's no movement on offense.
Yeah.
So now whoever I pass the ball and I stand, everybody stand, take him one-on-one. And it was a lot of bad shots because of that, especially first half. Like bad shots, the guys just not part of the game. So I think we really need to just really, like you said, get some offensive sets, really get some movement on offense. I think we look like a speedy team. We have athletic ability, but we're not that tall, so we're pretty fast. Right. So I think we need to, like you say, put some pressure on the rim more. Get Sar involved more. He wasn't really involved to me yesterday that much.
Yeah, agreed. He looked too content to just kind of float. And
yeah, Keyshawn George looked content to me, and then he was shooting up a lot of shots that really, So and I get it. Not everything's going to fall. But it's harder to make things fall when everybody's just trying to force it,
Yeah, and the defense doesn't have to work that hard to guard you.
Yeah, it was a lot of forcing basketball. To me, the best player yesterday, and I was surprised to see this, but then again, I'm not, because he was playing back home. Was Middleton.
Yeah.
I looked and said, where did that Middleton go? Right? So he's still there.
Yeah, he looked good.
We can get that type of Middleton every game. We have somebody who we can put the ball in their hands, and then we can play through.
Yep. Yeah, a lot of great points there. I'm totally with you. I think this is going to be interesting for them. A little smaller. They need to be able to defensive rebound as a team. Multiple guys got some good defensive rebounds and started the break, and it did help them run a little bit. But despite that stagnant offense, actually really good comment here in the chat from Will Clayton. The Wizards shot 40% from three last night, and that was on very little movement. They're not going to do that every night, and I think that's one of those things where they didn't shoot like all that great from the field. They were like mid 40s, but that percentage from three definitely, I think, saved their bacon a little bit and allowed them to get back into that game. But they're going to have to start getting better threes through movement and creation. And John, I have a question for you, and I was thinking of this while I was watching it last night, and you were the first person I wanted to talk to about this. Like, when you're a young guy and you've worked on stuff all summer, I added this to my game, I added this to my bag, how tempting is it that first game out to be like, all right, I'm showing everybody all the new tricks I got here and like show everybody I've taken a leap?
Well, you got to make it translate faster, right? So the faster you can make it translate at the beginning of the season, the more it becomes a natural part of your game throughout the season. So I feel like a lot of guys were working on a lot of stuff this summer, and as soon as they got the ball, they were like, I'm going for I'm great showing what I can do, what I worked on. And so now everybody's trying to make it transition and translate and transition right into the game now, right? Which is not a bad thing to do, but it seemed like every player we had was doing it.
Right. Yeah, I like guys being aggressive. I'll take that over the alternative when a bunch of dudes just stand around and hot potato the ball too much. But that I think they'll settle in. Like Keyshawn definitely had a few moments last night where I thought he was out over his skis, but played well overall. 21 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, 7 of 15 from the field, 3 of 6 from 3, 2 blocks, 1 steal. I'm just constantly impressed by his ability to like deflect the ball and get a hand on something. And it's just like that's like the you can't teach this thing, because he's not crazy athletic, he's not crazy fast, he's just there.
Sometimes it seems like he's moving in slow motion.
Yeah, it does.
And then he still gets his hand on the ball. He has a natural instinct for the ball like I never seen before.
Yeah.
Right. It's not that he's faster than everyone or jumping the passing lanes really fast. He has a natural instinct and knows for the ball, not only the ball, but the next place is going to be. Right. There's something you can't teach. And that's why he's who he is. And that doesn't only work on offense. It works doesn't only work on defense. It's also a gift on offense too, because now you can anticipate more things early. That's why he doesn't look like he's rushing on offense, because he's already 2 steps ahead of. So now he doesn't have to rush because he already seen the game before.
Yeah, he's got a 6'10" wingspan, which is like good, but not like insane for a 6'8" guy. Like it's good, but I think there's always certain guys that you play him and you're like, holy shit, like that guy shouldn't have been able to get that too. And I gotta think that's frustrating for people like that, or he's guarding him for the first time and things like that. So I think once he continues to improve, get stronger too, Koulibaly's back out there. Like I think they have the makings of some real menaces defensively. But I thought that was their big shortcoming last night overall. And I struggle with like NBA defense because I don't feel qualified to assess it because one, I don't play any when I play my own basketball, but two, it's just really hard to know like what they're supposed to do. We don't know what the coaches are telling them. We don't know what the scheme was. We don't know what the responsibilities are. So like sometimes it's really obvious, right? Like this dude just got beat. He didn't put in the effort, but sometimes they may be telling him to like hard hedge on a certain guy or cheat toward another guy. Like it's a little tougher, but there were times last night where they just looked completely sort of out of sync and they gave up a lot of threes because of it. And I don't know. Hopefully that's just, again, still early in the season, a lot of new faces, and they're going to work that out. But
well, it seemed like Milwaukee had a lot of 3-point shooters, and they were hitting. And the thing was, you didn't expect them to go off like that. The three points behind the 3-point line, and we started off with good perimeter defense, but once the ball started moving and everybody started putting it up, we kind of got it. Yeah, we broke down. So our perimeter defense kind of broke down. Mm-hmm. But to me, then the threes did really hurt us. But what also hurt us was physicalness.
Yeah.
And Milwaukee came out very physical. Mm-hmm. Like that. I think that's what they want their identity to be this year. And you saw it right out the gate. And so we were just getting knocked around, pushed around. And so even Middleton said in the huddle, he said, look, man, they hitting us. We got to hit back. Like we got to sustain some of these hits. Mm-hmm. We got to take some of these hits and give them right back.
Yep. And
so we were just getting knocked around a lot. Mm-hmm. So we have to start working on being just a much more physical team offensively, but defensively too.
It felt like, I don't mean this to like demean them or anything, but it felt a little bit like where somebody brings their younger brother to play basketball with you, and it's like that guy's going to be good as shit, but right now he's just too small for like our guys just felt younger and smaller, like it was.
Yep.
Exactly. The little league team at a certain point, and they'll get there, obviously. And this is just that stage of the development where they're going to have to take those lumps. But it looked especially glaring next to Giannis, and I thought they put in good effort against him. It just he like little boyed him a bunch of times, and just not. But
that's Giannis, right?
Yeah, he does that to grown-ass men too.
Yeah. I feel like he shouldn't have. Sarge could have done a better job on him. Sometime some of those blocks you can, some of those dunks you can block if you really want to.
Right,
but. Physicalness is a lot of times fake. Mm-hmm. It's a mentality. If I make the practice and physical, now we're going to be more physical in practice. We're going to go after each other now. No, we're not calling fouls. Get up. And it's an instinct. It's a thing you teach.
Yeah.
Right. So that's all. We just got to implement it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You just got to implement it. It's not even about size. You just got to implement it. Right now, I think we're focusing like, we got to get our defense together, right? We got to make sure these guys, all the guys are getting their game together, their development. It's just not something I don't think we touched on yet.
Right.
But it's good to see it right out the gate because now it has to be something like, we got to become more physical.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a good first test, playing a guy like that on day one. Mm-hmm. It really sets the tone. And Miles Turner didn't have like a great offensive game, but again, just a big dude, and he's going to be hard to move around, and took up a lot of space. So I think, we'll see how that kind of plays itself out. But I think they'll be fine overall on that end. This is where someone like Marcus Smart on the roster I still would have liked, but I'm glad Middleton is saying those kind of things because he lived it, in all those years in Milwaukee next to a guy like Giannis. Like he knows firsthand how you have to be able to play a guy like that.
Well, he knows exactly what their identity is and what Doc is telling them what their identity needs to be, right? Yeah. So I saw Middleton try to take a charge. He understands Giannis. He understands all his moves. It really was a charge. It called him for a foul. Yeah. But he stood right there and just absorbed it. You know, he fell to the ground, but absorbed it.
He knew it
And
was coming. Yeah,
that
he knew
let
it was
me know,
coming, like you
okay,
said, too.
well, especially for Middleton, somebody that's that far in his career,
Yeah.
you know, willing and risking his body still to do that.
Mm-hmm. That
The
was cool
young
to see.
guys really need to see that
Yep.
and say, okay, like this is where we need to be. This is the level of physicalness we have to take. We just can't just keep taking hits and just bouncing off.
Mm-hmm. Yep. No, I totally agree. Yeah, I think if I'm watching him do that, I'm like, oh shit, like this guy may not be here after January, and like he's a short time with us, and he's doing this game one. Like that should tell you something.
Yeah.
I would say the only downside for me a little bit of the veteran guys was the CJ McCollum shot selection last night also left a little bit to be desired. I'm like not as bothered by it by the young guys, but he went 4-14, 0 of 6 from three. It just felt like he was just settling for threes that didn't need to be settled for. And that was more when the offense bogged down again. It's like, okay, cool, I'll take a three. I got the ball in my hands. And I didn't love that for the first game.
To me, it looked like he took what was open.
Okay.
I feel like he played his normal game, his normal shots that he normally take.
Just didn't make him.
Just wasn't falling. You know, those shots with CJ McCollum, I feel like we need him to take. Some of them were just deciding I'm going to dribble down. I'm not passing at all. I'm shooting it. You know, we can probably get a better shot, but those shots that he normally takes,
that's right.
It just wasn't his night. You know, it just wasn't falling. Everything was off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a couple more of them go down, and maybe that changes things a little early for them too. But he's not going to have many 4 for 14 nights over the course of the year anyway. So I'm not ultimately worried about it either way. One other stat I thought was interesting: Wizards rookies to score at least 15 points, have 5+ rebounds, have 1 block and 1 steal in their NBA debut since the NBA ABA merger in 1976. Trey Johnson last night, obviously, and Tom Gugliotta in 1992. So the only guys with 15, 5, and some ancillary stats. So pretty good debut from the young guy. I'm happy to see that.
He also had another stat too. It was with four 3-pointers in tonight's season opener.
Oh yeah.
Wizards rookie guard Trey Johnson has tied Jarrell Eddy from the Brooklyn Nets for the most made 3-pointers in the rookie debut in team history.
That's pretty good. Pretty good. I'll take that. I also had forgotten about Jarrell Eddy. No disrespect intended until right now.
That had been over a decade. He did it in 2015.
Yeah. So that's cool to see his name pop back up in a stat. So yeah, those are two good ones. I think we're in for a good rookie year from Mr. Johnson. So I'm excited about that. Two other ones I got for you, Jahadi, and we'll start wrapping it up here. What was your take on Cam Whitmore last night? Like the stat line, 6 of 12 overall, 1 of 5 from 3, which, a couple of them were good looks that didn't fall. Had 5 rebounds, had an assist, so first assist as a Wizard, we'll take that. No defensive stats, but I thought he did some good things defensively too. So where are you at with him?
I think he played his game. He's a bully. I like the way he played. Yeah. I like the way he played. Sometimes you miss shots, but I like the way he played. Mm-hmm. I think we need to figure out how to go to him more. He's a guy, because his game is the only game that's completely different from everyone else.
That is true. Yep.
Right. And he can cause. He got the point guard. What's the point guard that sprained his ankle from the Bucks yesterday?
Oh, geez.
Porter.
Yeah, Kevin Porter Jr. Yeah, sorry.
He took Kevin Porter completely out of the game.
Yeah.
Just off how hard. Hopefully Kevin Porter's better. Gets better for next game. But just off the bully style of play he plays.
Yeah.
So sometimes that's a guy you need to start going to in phases. Mm-hmm. One, like about 3-4 times in a row, just to really, really get the players in foul trouble. Start making them sink in, right? Get him going, because he likes to also rebound and go full speed down the court, right? Once you get him involved, I think it opens up a lot, and we need to purposely make him a more of a focal point on the team, because it's going to open things up for so many other players.
Yeah, I love what you just said. And my note was him operating in areas of the court that nobody else operates in is an advantage for them. And I think that's harder to guard because people aren't really like he's a small ball big at times. Actually, ain't no half Stefan said it in the chat here. Whitmore can do so much more havoc post scoring on smaller defenders. I think
Yep,
he could do it on bigger defenders
I
too.
agree.
Honestly, like if you put a
Yeah.
4 on him, I still think he could kind of back people down and do his thing.
Especially going downhill.
Yeah, yeah. It's hard to
You
stay in
got
front of a
you,
dude
you
like
guard him
that.
on the perimeter and he
Yeah,
gets downhill and hits you. No matter what size you are, it's hard to play on your heels, especially defense.
yeah. You're just gonna bounce off of him. I mean, good luck with
Yeah,
that too.
and that's his goal. He understands exactly how to put you on your heels.
Yep. Last night, Keyshawn George got some on-ball reps, sort of a de facto point guard at times. I saw a lot of commentary from the Wizards fan base that they would like to see more Keyshawn as point guard minutes. I'm just gonna say I'm fine with all that kind of stuff. Try all the on-ball things that you want, but if you need Keyshawn George to be your point guard, it means that you don't have a point guard. And to me, he's much better as like a secondary playmaker, can reverse the ball or create every once in a while. Like I don't want him exclusively running my offense because I think that takes away from the other things I think he can do on the team, and that's just not the responsibilities I want for a guy like that. Like also he hasn't had to deal with like somebody's best perimeter defender trying to lock into him as the offense creator for any like meaningful stretch here yet. And I think those minutes will look a lot worse. And again, if you just want to try it this year because it's a development year, like I'm all for it. But let's see how he looks when he's the number one option on the scouting report as the guy to create for other people. I'd rather just focus him on more on like what he does well and be a smooth wing creator and scorer and things like that, and create some, but not have to like have all that responsibility. I don't know. Does that make sense, Jahadi?
It makes a lot of sense. I mean, I 100% agree with you. We in these days and time, the point guard is not your primary scorer,
Yeah,
right?
it's
He's
tough.
your primary facilitator, right? So he's usually the first and second pass that he passes. The point guard usually the point guard goes right, get past if there's nothing there, get past back at top of the key, left, nothing there, get past back. So now his first job is to look at two options.
Sure.
What I would rather Keyshawn George
Be one of
be
the
in a
options.
position where he's one of the options.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, so what you like you said, if you had to use him as a point guard, yes,
Sure.
but that like you said that means we lacking some point guard skills still. We need another point guard, but I don't see how it benefits him, stat wise, player wise, effective wise, of bringing the ball up the floor.
Yeah. A few times here and there, like whatever, it's fine if you want to show he can do that. And I think you're more dangerous as a team when they got to scout. Oh shit! Any one of these 5 guys, they're gonna let do it. Like that's a good thing. But
If that happens, I'm calling Saw drag screen right away.
yeah, right,
That's the
exactly.
only reason. Because if I want Keyshawn George to bring the ball up the floor, I want him to get to the rim.
Yeah, attack. Yeah,
Yeah.
yep. And that
Or create off the attack.
right, exactly. Yeah, because he is a willing enough passer that if they collapse on him, he'll sling it, and that I'm cool with. But just every possession, him bringing the ball up would not be what I want. I'd rather them try to develop Trey Johnson into that guy, honestly, than
I would too.
Keyshawn. Yeah. So we'll see what that looks like for their long term development. But overall, just really more good than bad. I think it was not like I wasn't frustrated watching that game, other than the first maybe 8 minutes of gameplay. But
Right.
yeah, I'll take it overall. Just them staying
I
in it
like
mentally.
the way they fought.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I like the way they fought. It showed some heart, and it showed that okay, we can have a pathway to something to keep going somewhere.
I would like to see more Justin Champagny minutes somehow, some way. I just like that dude. He only played 5 minutes last night. He went 0 for 3, so maybe they just said it's not his night or whatever. But I don't know. To me, just good things happen when that guy's on the court. So you got
It's
a lot
hard
of
to be
mouths
hot
feed.
off the bench.
Right?
that
Yeah,
long.
for sure.
And especially when if I'm getting 5 minutes,
Yeah, got to do everything.
I'm pressing every shot.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I don't know. That'll be interesting. Marvin Bagley taking no shots in 15 minutes is also weird to me. That almost seemed like I'm making a point of I'm not going to shoot. And to play 15 minutes at 6'9" and only have 3 rebounds, didn't love that either. I mean, he's usually like hyper productive based on his minutes played, so that's an aberration. But it was.
I thought he was going to be our only really sign of physical play.
Yeah, post scorer, that kind of thing. Which so a lot of guys in the chat are saying that too.
He wasn't that more tonight. Last night.
Yeah, I think that's something I would look for a little bit. You and I are always talking about like playing inside out. A little bit more would be nice. I think he and maybe Cam Whitmore are probably the only 2 guys on the roster that you can do that with. So would like to see them just try it a bit more.
I was surprised. Why didn't we get Sarr that many touches? Like we just forgot he was out there. It seemed like.
Yeah,
usually he's about one of the primary guys. We make sure he touches the ball a lot.
Mm-hmm.
They just played around. They're like, nah, I'm keeping it. I'm going.
I wondered if he's like still coming back from that injury or something.
Okay.
And I don't know. Like he had that over the summer. He only played 25 minutes, which is not like crazy minutes for your starting center. So that was my only thought is like maybe they're just letting him ease into some stuff.
Probably.
All right. The game tomorrow night, Friday night, against Dallas, 8:30 Eastern time. Showdown between 2 potential Rookie of the Year candidates. Anything you're looking for in Game 2 that you didn't see in Game 1, Johnny?
Sorry to get a lot more involved. Yeah. That Dallas game should be a game that he's licking his chops at.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Run some offensive sets. At least get some movement on offense. At least 3 passes. If you can, and let's be a more physical, tougher defensive team. Rebound.
Yeah. I did not watch any of this game. I want to go back and do it, but the Spurs absolutely throttled the Mavericks 125-92. I've seen all the Wembanyama highlights. It shouldn't be real. Like I don't know, Jai, if they roll you out there and you're like, all right, you got to go guard this guy. Like, what do you? I would be trying to like. Honestly, I'd be going enforcer. I'd be trying to beat him up or something because there's no other way to guard that guy.
You can't do that either, though.
Oh, right.
Because you can get fouled out.
He foul out immediately, yeah.
Yeah. AD tried a lot of things.
Yeah, it's true.
He tried
no answer.
The physicalness. He brought him out. He can't block a shot.
Nope.
I don't know. It's a point you almost want to put a much smaller defender on him.
I think I like that.
His dribble lane is so high, right? So, to me, if you put a bigger defender on him, because usually they try to put size on him, and he's too versatile for size.
Yeah.
Right. But now I'm just saying, look, I'm not gonna let you dribble. Mm-hmm. I'm stealing everything. I'm trying to steal everything. I tried. I mean, I'm not saying that's the master plan, but shoot, it's hard for he's too wiry and has offensive like toolbox for a big defender. He'd chew a big defender up. Like that's what he wants. He licks his shot with a big defender.
No one should be able to move like that. You just can't stay in front of him too, and the ball doesn't slow him down despite being a high dribble when a big's guarding him. So I like that. Remember that year, like I want to say it was the Mavericks put like old man Jason Kidd on Kevin Durant in the playoffs.
Yep.
And he gave him fits. I would do something like that. Low center of gravity, just get up in him, and I like
Kevin Durant was dribbling so high with the high dribbles get taken every time. Yeah. Wemby has high dribbles.
Yeah.
I mean, he tries to get down low, but he can only get down so low.
Yeah.
So to me, you get a guy who can really, really read that ball.
That's a good plan. I'm interested to see that. Cooper Flag, interesting debut. It looks like 4 of 13 from the field, 10 rebounds, which is good to see. 1 steal, had a couple turnovers, finished with 10 points. So, double in your first game is not bad. Be fun to see what he looks like against maybe Keyshawn George or one of these younger guys too.
Cooper Flag is going to be all right.
Yeah.
Once Kyrie comes back, he'd really be good because now you have someone to take up a lot of that pressure.
Mm-hmm.
because you're going to have to focus on Kyrie just as much.
Yeah.
Right. AD has to really, you got to do a lot of going to like the Lakers. You know how the Lakers used to just dump down, use AD for like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Right. When you do that, then Cooper Flag can be more free.
Yeah.
Right. He's going to outwork everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe all of his points, all of Cooper Flag's points can be perimeter with the ball in his hand.
Yeah.
He's going to get 10 to 12 just off of outworking somebody on the opposite side of the ball.
Yep.
So once you do that, then okay, because I feel like they had to really put a lot of emphasis on defense and just shut down Cooper Flag.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not how it's going to be once you have too good of a team over there with Dallas. Once those guys really, really start gelling and putting the ball up. I don't want Kyrie to be too much of a facilitator, but he's going to have to be.
Yeah.
But he's going to have to put some, pressure on the rim and points on the board to really open the game up for Cooper Flag.
I totally with you again. I thought what we talked about with Keyshawn George from the clips that I have seen, it did seem like they were trying to do that with Flag a little bit too much too. Like, dude's got to basically play point guard for the team for large stretches his first game out as a 6'9" rookie. Like that's a tough.
Yeah, it seemed like they were trying to showcase him too much.
Yeah, I think so.
And he don't have to be a showcase guy right now.
No, he can just coast and get 10 and 10.
Yeah, he's still he would end up with better. Like if this wasn't a game that they didn't showcase him, I think he would end up with even better points with stats.
Yeah, he'd be more efficient at the very least.
Yeah,
for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah. Anthony Davis had 22 points, 13 rebounds. You talked about like seeing Alex Sarr be more involved. I want to see him want to be more involved in this game too. Like that's the guy, that's the comp for you. Like, I mean, no one's saying he's going to be Anthony Davis necessarily, but like that's the mold of player, the best case Alex Sarr would try to look like. Like I want to see him like go at, the vet and not be scared of the moment. If he looks tentative, I'm going to be kind of bummed out.
I think he should be hungry for this game.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, this is you played now. You played a full game. The first game you played, you went out there and played. So if you're going to be out there,
are gone.
play.
Yep.
And to me, this is you playing against Cooper Flag, Anthony Davis. You know the media, the excitement, the eyes that will be on this game, and that works out well for you too. So have a great game. Go out there and play it like it's your last.
Yep, that'd be cool to see. Yeah, I'm just excited for, I don't know, more sample size, really evaluate these guys, and we'll have more to talk about next week. Jahadi, before we close it, any parting shots or anything we didn't touch on?
No, right now.
Cool. All right, everybody. Think good start to the year. I'm looking forward to it. I'm a little more excited now that I've seen one game than I think I was before the game last night. So hopefully it's a good, fun year where they're just going to compete a lot more, and we'll take some L's, but as long as they play hard, I'm all for it. For those of you watching on YouTube, please hit that like button for us, rate, review, subscribe, all that good stuff. We really appreciate it. And we will catch y'all next time, hopefully with a Wizards dub.
Peace.